there was a point where comedy was all about being mean to people, and it just seems unnecessary. The world is a big, scary place. I feel like comedy is a way to make sense of that.
Clap for Cassandra Dee, everybody.
How y'all feeling tonight? I feel great. Probably because I got blazed before I came out here. Which, to be clear, is what I call wearing a blazer. Which is funny to me because I'm high. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest, this is really uncomfortable and I don't wanna wear it. Just really like that joke. Give me 1 second. All right, let's try this again. How y'all feeling tonight? I feel great. Probably because I got bombed before I came out here. Which, to be clear, is what I call wearing a bomber jacket. Which is funny to me because I'm drunk. Tim, clap it up if you gained weight in the quarantine. Anybody? I didn't. Little tip, if you want to avoid it next time, try starting the pandemic already fat. It worked great for me. I did actually start gaining weight after the pandemic, though. I gotten so sad during the pandemic, and I was already depressed my whole life and it got worse. So I started taking an antidepressant. And I started gaining weight as soon as I started taking it. Like, it took a while to gain the weight. It wasn't like the gum from Willy Wonka. But so at that point, I was like, I need to go to the doctor and find out if this is safe. So I did. And I asked my doctor, and he ran a bunch of tests, and he was like, you should definitely keep taking this medicine. And I was like, great, is it my blood pressure? He's like, no. It's like, is it because of my cholesterol? And he's like, no. It's like, my blood sugar, what is it? And he looked at me right in my face and said, you should keep taking this medicine because you have a twinkle in your eye now. I got diagnosed as jolly. Fat with a twinkle in your eye. Who else does it describe but Santa Claus? Went to the doctor and I was like, can I keep taking this medicine and survive? My doctor was like, of course. The spirit of Christmas will keep you alive. I'm fat, but I date a lot, and sometimes that surprises people. They think it's weird. But honestly, dating as a fat woman is basically like going out to eat at a restaurant if you're on a gluten-free diet. All right? It's like we have options. There are just fewer of them. And a lot of them are gross. All right, let me explain what I mean by that. When I look at my phone again, I will have a match on Tinder. And he will have a sword in his profile picture. What do I have to do to match with someone who doesn't own a cloak? Can anyone tell me? A couple years ago, I started dating women, too. I put them in the app, so I was like, are there going to be girls with swords? Is that a kind of person? It turns out it's not. I have yet to find a girl with a sword. There is, however, a girl equivalent. of guys with swords. Anybody want to guess what is in these profile pictures? Oh. What? Cats.
Nerf gun.
All right, we're gonna focus on cats right now. You think cats are as weird as swords? Like, I don't know if I'm more of a dog person or a sword person. Do you ever clap if at some point you've had a cat? Now clap if you have a sword. Apparently I was wrong. It's horses, it's horse girls. Match with so many horse girls. If you're not seeing them on the apps, I need to explain that they are never riding the horses in their profile picture. It's always a 29-year-old dental hygienist gently cupping a horse's face like they went to prom together. That's what I'm matching with. Recently, I got invited to a threesome with a sword guy and a horse girl. When I got there, we just ended up reenacting Braveheart. Should be better at dating by now. I'm old enough. Recently hit one of those milestone ages. I turned 34. It's one of the big ones, right? 16, 18, 21. No, you're not on board? All right. All right. Do me a favor. Clap if you are currently 34. I think you all are just clapping at anything at this point. All right, do me a favor. Clap if at some point you have been 34. That makes sense. Now do me a favor and clap if someday you will be 34. You don't know that. I'm rooting for you, but I gotta say that joke hit different before the pandemic. Now some of you were like, wait a minute, she's been telling this joke for 19 months. This bitch is 35 now. And I am. I'm 35 now. 35 actually is a milestone age. Because I am now old enough to be president. Like, legally. We don't elect anyone under 80, but... the Constitution says I can do it. Before we do this next part, do me a favor, clap if you're a Donald Trump fan. Get him! No, it's fine. I think that we don't empathize enough with people that we disagree with. So I've decided to try to empathize more with people that don't agree with me politically. I actually recently decided to try to find something that Donald Trump and I have in common. And I found something. Please don't guess what it is. You will hurt my feelings. I realized recently that Donald Trump and I are both really bad with money. Like, I live with my parents, and I'm surprised he doesn't live with my parents. He paid $130,000 in hush money to a porn star that he slept with. That's a lot of money. Republicans are supposed to be the ones who are good with money. Kennedy would have had her killed for way less. Any Kennedy. Teddy Kennedy would have just driven her off a bridge himself. All right, I lost some of you on that one. If you don't know why I lost a few people on that joke, it's because Teddy Kennedy really did once drive off a bridge with a woman in his car. and she died. And he swam to shore and became senator. So if you don't like that joke, you're right. Like, it's terrible. That joke is terrible. However, that probably only costs like a $500 insurance deductible. So the math is still good. If you don't like that joke, you're right. That joke is morally reprehensible. But it is fiscally responsible. I can't empathize with all Republicans, though. Like, I try, but, like, it's really hard to get on board with people who don't believe in climate change. Because, like, we have to share a planet with those people. Sharing a planet with someone who doesn't believe in climate change, it's like sharing a checking account with someone who doesn't believe in math. Like, you can try to save money, but they're going to keep spending it. And when you're like, this is why we have no money, they'll be like, nah, I think it's because God hates gay people. I think that's why. I think I know where we went wrong with climate change. I think I figured it out. Clap it up if you, when you were little, if you were taught you had to take care of Mother Earth. It's a thing, right? Well, here's my question. Why would we name the planet that we have to take care of in order to survive after the one person we can treat like shit and will still love us? I'm 36 years old. And my mom's letting me live there while I do this. And I think we need to use a different relative. Right? Like, don't you feel like if it were Father Earth, it would be a little more like, get your shit together or I'm melting the ice caps. Like, go touch the thermostat. What about Weird Cousin Earth? Weird Cousin Earth. If you don't start recycling, the Earth shows up and tries to get you involved in a multi-level marketing scheme. All right, here's the one. It's one. Uncle Earth. Uncle Earth. If you don't start using those disgusting cardboard straws, the Earth shows up and ruins Thanksgiving. Tells you that you're not really bisexual. That one might be too specific. Gonna work on it. I'll figure it out. I remember learning about climate change for the first time as a kid, and I was like terrified of it. Just terrified of everything. I had a lot of time on my hands in the pandemic, so I decided to actually rank all of my fears. And here's number one. Here's the number one, the thing I'm afraid of more than anything else. My worst fear is choking to death at a murder mystery dinner. Like, think about it. If you choke tonight, the person sitting with you is going to help you. If you choke at a murder mystery dinner, they're just going to be like, did you know she was in this? It's like, no, but she's good. Really looks like she's dying right in front of us. Sorry, I keep looking at my notes. I have severe ADHD. I used to text all of my jokes to myself. I did that for 6 months, and then eventually I got a text message back. It said, please stop doing this. To be clear, I was texting the wrong number. I wasn't having a crisis of confidence. I started taking medicine for it recently, a couple months ago. I was like, I'm an adult with a hard job. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go to the doctor, and I'm going to be like, give me Adderall. Give me some. And he was like, you can have some Ritalin. Like I'm a 7-year-old who won't stop talking about dinosaurs. And it sucks because like every day that I take it, I get so smart. And as soon as I'm smart enough to know in 6 hours I'm going to be stupid again. So depressing. Every day of my life is just the book Flowers for Algernon. So sad. Here's what I'm like when the medicine wears off at the end of the day. So the other day, my friend and I were driving to a show. And I was like, hey, do you mind if we stop and get a snack? She's like, sure, what do you want? And I was like, I think I could go for some dessert vegetables. She thought about it for a minute, and she was like, yo, do you mean fruit? And I was like, yeah, one of the yellow ones. It'd be great. Then I was like, oh my God, I'm so stupid right now. I should not be driving. And she was like, you're not. I don't know why you're doing that with your hand. I was bullied a lot as a kid. And I still talk about it in therapy. I feel like it's weird. 37 years old. Just still not over stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, you know? Do you ever clap if you were bullied as a kid? That is surprising. Some of you look like you should have been clapping. I was bullied a lot as a kid. I was bullied by both boys and girls. And I learned something from that, which is, if bullying were a professional sport, girls bullying would be the one we watched on television. They're not meaner, they're just really in it for the love of the game, you know? Let me give you an example. I was bullied by a boy in middle school. A boy leaned over to me in the middle of like 7th grade science and whispered, "You have more rolls than Carlos's bakery." Just leaned back and whispered, "Carlos's doesn't sell rolls. Has cakes and pies and stuff. You should try the cream donut." At that point, I wasn't being bullied. We just had like different Yelp reviews. I only think about that when I'm in a bakery 2-3 times a week tops. That same year, a girl leaned over to me and whispered something I thought about every day for years. A girl leaned over to me in the middle of 7th grade English and whispered, "No one is ever going to love you." I feel like she's here. Like, I told my therapist about this, and she had a really weird response. My therapist was like, maybe she didn't get to finish. And I was like, I hope you also haven't finished. Like, where do you think she was going with that? And she was like, maybe she was going to say, no one's ever going to love you as much as I do. And she was right. She's a horse girl. We're going out next week. I still get bullied sometimes by my friends. Recently, my friend and I were watching her daughters play in the park. She just looks at me and she goes, "You know, I worry about you. You're 38 years old. You're not successful. You don't have any children. I know when I die, I'm gonna leave the girls behind. When you die, what are you gonna leave behind?" I was like, I drink a lot of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Pretty sure styrofoam cups last forever. They're gonna be in a landfill for all of time. Your daughters are biodegradable. I've mentioned a couple times I live with my parents. I have a really good reason for that. It's actually because I have a gambling problem. Do you mind if I just be serious for like 1 second? I have thousands of dollars in gambling debt that you would all probably call student loans. But I like to look at that as me betting on myself and losing. I got a bachelor's degree in English, doubled down, got a master's degree in English. At this point, I'm more student loan than I am person. I realized recently I'm going to be paying my student loans for the rest of my life. Once a month for the rest of my life, I'm going to make a student loan payment. Even my period is going to stop at some point. My student loans aren't going to end until I do. My student loans and I are going to die at the exact same time. Like the old couple in The Notebook. Here's the thing. I don't think you should have to pay back your student loans. I wasn't done. I don't think you should have to pay back your student loans if you didn't get invited to any parties in college. I did not have the full experience. I don't know why I'm paying full price. It's not fair. Do your favor, clap if you have student loans. Clap if you have more than $10,000 in student loans. More than 20. Do I hear 30? 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. All right, I'm just gonna, somebody right around here is clapping. Shout out your total. Two, all right, you lose. Someone said a number that begins with a 2 over here. Can you tell us your total number of student loans? $200,000. Like American dollars. Did you go to a good school? All right, that would suck if you just went to community college for 400 years. All right, just a couple more questions, then I will leave you alone. How many friends from school do you still hang out with? Give me a number. Can anyone tell me what he said? 20? All right, that's still $10,000 a friend. Is any of them worth it? I did this joke at a show once, and the man did the math. $100,000, 4 friends, $25,000 a friend, none of them worth it. And I move on with my life, and I go to tell another joke on the other side of the room. And I hear some commotion, and then I turn around and I see a woman storming off. Turns out that man was sitting at it with his wife, who he had met at college. And he was like, nope, not a single one of them's worth it. They're divorced now. You guys mind if I talk about something sad? Looking at everyone's faces, and some of you were like, I'd prefer you didn't. I'm gonna do it anyway. Some people clapped. I've been depressed my whole life. I mentioned I started taking an antidepressant, and it worked. And for the first time ever, I really am happy. Like, things are going well. Thank you. But there was a point where it wasn't, and I thought about killing myself. But I couldn't go through with it because I live with my parents. And I kept picturing them finding my lifeless body in my childhood bedroom. And suddenly thinking that they had failed as parents. which they should already know. Because I live in my childhood bedroom. Wasn't going to go through with it until I could come up with a plan that covered up my suicide and made it look like an accident. I came up with a plan and I was ready. But then I realized that my plan covered up my suicide, but didn't make it look like an accident. Which means not only did I almost leave my body for my parents to find, I almost framed them for murdering me. My last act as a human being on this earth was almost sending my parents to jail for the rest of their lives. I felt really bad about it, till I realized that prison is probably not that much different than the home I'm going to end up sending them to. I have a lot of student loan debt, okay? Not as much as that guy. I have 2 degrees in English, and I ended up working at a community college for a long time as an English professor. And I lost that job over the pandemic, and now I work in tech support. And I don't know how I ended up here. It's just so different. But it's really fun because I get to learn all sorts of cool things I didn't know before, like what the internet is. And it's been really fun. I also learned a lot of cool stuff about how laws work. That's been weird. So I work for a company that hosts other people's websites. And so sometimes we'll get emails asking us to take stuff down. So like, for example, if I got an email from Disney that was like, hey, someone is using one of your websites to torrent Marvel movies illegally, you have to take it down. The law says that we have 96 hours to remove that, or we get a huge fine. Recently, I had a woman reach out and was like, hey, my ex-boyfriend is hosting revenge porn of me on one of your websites. Can you take it down? And so I looked it up to see what we can do, and here is the very technical legal term for what we have to do as a company. It was ask him nicely. It's the very technical legal term for what we have to do. I'll be honest, this isn't so much a joke as just advice for all of you. If you are a woman who's dating someone who you think may someday put revenge porn of you up on the internet, I highly recommend getting a tattoo of Iron Man on your tits. We will have that down in 96 hours. You guys have been so much fun. I feel like I've said some things that are a little depressing here, and I just want to make sure that I'm not kind of worrying anyone. So I just want to let you know, if I said anything that upset you or made you worry about me, I mean this sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I am 39 now. You guys have been so much fun. Thank you so much. Please give it up for your host.
How do you feel tonight?
Pretty good. I'm excited to not have to ever do any of these jokes again. I can just put them on the internet and then retire them. It's a lot of years of jokes, so I'm excited to see them all in one place.
How long have you been doing this?
I think about 7 years. I can't tell anyone how old I am because it will ruin the special. I started comedy later than a lot of people, and so I couldn't go out to mics like every night until 1 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of really put all of my eggs in one basket. This was like the place that I did comedy for a long time, and it's definitely my favorite place to do comedy, so I'm excited. It always feels good to perform here. And this apparently isn't true for everyone. The comedy's been very supportive to me. I definitely think it's hard to be mean to someone who's talking about killing themselves. Like, that's probably a little harder than getting in a fight with somebody who is like pumping the stool jokes. I actually sometimes get migraines so bad that I can't talk.
Oh no.
Like, I just can't think of, I literally would just stand there and like try to talk and I can't. It's never happened on stage, but I am kind of waiting for that. It only happens for like 10 seconds, so we still have a lot of special to work with. The last time my parents left the house was to see the movie Death Becomes Her. I think it was 1991, something like that. That's the last time they went anywhere. They've never been to a comedy club. So they've never heard almost any of it. Well, they'll see the special. Yeah, they will watch it if they can do it from their house. They're very supportive, but they're just kind of like, they'll get around to it eventually.